Hello again. I am Val Schmidt, author of this book, The 2-Week Brain Reset, available on Amazon in paperback and Kindle versions if you'd rather have it there, or I am reading the entire thing here for free. We just did chapter 4, which was about nutrition and why it's important in your mental health, and now we're moving on to chapter 5, which is awesome foods for mental health. Again, this is probably the most important chapter in the book, so pay attention, take notes, watch it 5 times, whatever you need to do to get it up here, get it stored up here. First up in this chapter, we're talking about animal protein. I want to begin this section by acknowledging that I was a vegetarian for 5 years before starting this program. Right up until I started my 2 weeks, I had not been eating any meat for 5 years. I chose this lifestyle for many reasons, including improving animal welfare, fighting climate change, and bolstering personal health, ironically. I didn't believe protein to be as important as I do now. Now that I've gone through the program, I believe that my vegetarian diet, which included a lot of processed fake meat food, was actually detrimental to my postpartum mental health and might have even made my pregnancies more difficult. If you are currently a vegetarian or vegan, that's awesome. That takes a ton of discipline, which will surely come in handy during your journey with me. I would, however, strongly encourage you to try eating meat for just these 2 weeks just to see how you feel. While I understand that's a lot to ask, and please know that I was skeptical myself, ultimately I decided my sanity was to be my first priority, so I gave it a try. My program can be completed without animal protein, so don't slam the book closed just yet or X out of YouTube just yet, but I'm asking that you at least give reintroducing it some consideration, even if only in the form of some eggs or a few pieces of fish per week. Okay, speech over. Even though I am now an advocate for consuming animal protein, some may say there is limited evidence to suggest that it is particularly beneficial for brain health. In fact, some research has suggested that a diet high in animal protein and low in plant-based foods may increase the risk of cognitive decline and dementia. I'm a very strong advocate for plant-based foods also, especially vegetables, like fresh, raw vegetables, but we'll get to that. You can do both. You can have meat and vegetables, and that's most of what the diet will end up being, as you will see. I've said it before, everyone is different. For me personally, animal protein has been just as important as vegetables or other traditionally healthy foods. Science warning! Certain nutrients found in animal products, such as omega-3 fatty acids, you'll hear about these a lot, and vitamin B12, have been shown to be important for brain function. Omega-3s are particularly abundant in fatty fish, such as salmon, and have been linked to improved cognitive function and a lower risk of dementia. Vitamin B12 is primarily found in animal products such as meat, dairy, and eggs, and plays a key role in brain development and function. It's also worth noting that plant-based sources of omega-3s, such as flax seeds, chia seeds, and walnuts, and vitamin B12, such as fortified cereals, nutritional yeast, and some plant milks, can provide adequate amounts of these nutrients for vegetarians or vegans. I haven't forgotten about you. It is possible. Okay, listen to this part, because this part's important. To put it simply, I acted like you hadn't been listening up till this point. For your 2-week brain reset, you'll want to eat a source of protein, ideally animal-based, at least 3 times per day, and try to get at least 2 servings of fish per week. Here is a list of approved protein sources: beef, chicken, pork, fish or other seafood, any kind of seafood, lamb, bison, eggs, turkey, dairy products, tofu or other soy products, beans or legumes, and protein powder with an asterisk. The asterisk is because protein powder is a highly processed food, but it is so important for you to get enough protein, especially if you're a vegetarian, that I make an exception for protein powder. So have that in the morning if you need to. You will receive an exhaustive list of all approved foods at the end of the book. It's super convenient for grocery shopping. I listed dairy here with the animal proteins because it is technically a source of protein from an animal, but I do have it in chapter 3 as only an acceptable, not awesome, food for mental health. But we'll go into more detail when we get there. Tofu and other soy products are decent sources of protein, but be careful not to consume too much of them. Soy contains compounds called phytoestrogens, which can mimic the effects of estrogen in the body. While some studies have suggested that these compounds may have health benefits, such as reducing the risk of breast cancer, others have raised concerns that consuming large amounts could disrupt hormone balance and potentially increase the risk of certain associated health problems. So just don't go crazy on the tofu. Although in general, you'll want to avoid processed foods, more on that in chapter 4. Like I mentioned above, I do have protein powder listed as an approved source. Whey-based protein powders are best, but you could also use plant-based. I like to make a breakfast smoothie with a scoop of protein, a banana, and a whole lot of spinach. Anytime I make a smoothie or a protein shake, I always add a ton of spinach because you can't really taste it, and spinach is one of my favorite foods to eat, just for the nutrition. If you can afford it, try to get meats and proteins that have labels like grass-fed, free-range, and organic. I know these can be expensive and or hard to find, but consider it an added bonus to the program if you can incorporate these more natural sources. Finally, we need to be aware that different protein sources have different nutrient profiles. For example, plant-based protein sources tend to be lower in saturated fat and higher in fiber and other nutrients, which is good, while animal-based protein sources tend to be higher in certain vitamins and minerals such as B12 and iron. They are all important, so variety should be your guiding light. All right, moving on to green vegetables, super important. And I didn't have any yesterday. Vegetables are extremely important for the health of your entire body, and that includes your brain. According to the data from the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, the CDC, as of 2019, only about 1 in 10 American adults eat the recommended 2 to 3 cups of vegetables per day. Only 10% of you. Ugh. Sometimes at the end of the day, I'll think back and realize that I didn't eat a single serving. Let's make sure we break that habit for at least 2 weeks. Vegetables are packed with vitamins, minerals, and other nutrients that are integral to optimal brain function. For example, leafy green vegetables such as spinach, my fave, and kale are high in folate, which has been linked to a lower risk of depression. Other vegetables such as broccoli and sweet potatoes are rich in antioxidants, which may help protect the brain from oxidative stress, which is an imbalance between free radicals and antioxidants in your body and can cause damage to organs and tissues and result in various diseases. We all know it, we've all heard of antioxidants, but what they do is they gather up free radicals and get rid of them, and it's a good thing. Veggies are also a great source of dietary fiber, which can help promote healthy digestion. This may also benefit mental health, with some studies suggesting that a high fiber diet may be associated with a lower risk of depression and anxiety. And I love this part. There is growing evidence that the gut microbiome, which is the collection of microorganisms in the digestive systems, yes, you have those, plays an important role in mental health. This is sometimes known as the gut-brain connection, and it's the basis of why nutrition helps your mental health. Eating a diet rich in vegetables and other plant-based foods can help support a healthy gut microbiome, which may in turn have positive effects on your brain. So we're not only cleaning out our brain, we're cleaning out our whole gut too, and all the stuff that's going on in there. Resetting, I call it the brain reset. Really, it's the whole body reset, if I'm being honest. My 2 favorite vegetables for the brain reset are, do you remember? Spinach, high in folate, which has been linked to a lower risk of depression. And the other is actually broccoli, which is also high in antioxidants and contains some other stuff that may have anti-inflammatory, and neuroprotective effects, protects your brain. Here's a full list to add to your next grocery run. Spinach, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, asparagus, avocado, cabbage, bell peppers, salad greens, all the salad greens, tomatoes, kale, celery, and green beans. As with the proteins, you'll want to buy organic and local whenever possible. Try to consume as many servings per day as possible within reason, but a minimum of 2, unlike me yesterday. The above list is not exhaustive, so don't be afraid to try new things. That's it for veggies. Next, we're going to talk about fruit. Fruits are beneficial to mental health for a variety of reasons. First, they are a rich source of vitamins, minerals, and other nutrients that are important for brain function. For example, citrus fruits such as oranges and kiwis are high in vitamin C, which has been linked to a lower risk of depression. Other fruits, such as bananas and avocados, are high in potassium. This can help regulate blood pressure and may have a positive impact on mood. Fruits are also rich in antioxidants, which can help protect the brain from that nasty oxidative stress. Many fruits are a great source of dietary fiber, which can help promote healthy digestion and may also have benefits for mental health. Gut microbiome, baby! I actually wrote that in the book for some reason. Perhaps best of all, fruits can be a healthy way to satisfy a sweet tooth without turning to processed sugars. As you may already know, consuming too much sugar has been linked to a range of negative health outcomes, including an increased risk of depression and anxiety, but more on that in Chapter 4. Some of my favorite fruits for mental health are blueberries, which are high in antioxidants and also linked to improved memory and cognitive function. Bananas, which are high in potassium and which also contain tryptophan, which helps make serotonin. People think tryptophan is only found in turkey and that's why you get tired on Thanksgiving. Not true. Tryptophan is very important and it's in a lot of things, including bananas. And oranges, which are high in vitamin C and which may have mood boosting effects. Don't you feel good when you just eat like a really good orange? I do. Here's a list of some top fruits for mental wellness. As mentioned, blueberries, bananas, oranges, grapefruit, any other berries, apples, watermelon, kiwi, pineapple, mangoes, honeydew, grapes, cherries, peaches, pears. You get the idea. But, please keep in mind, although better than ice cream or donuts, fruits are still a source of sugar. Therefore, try to limit your intake to 2 to 3 servings per day. Also, get organic if you can, since pesticides can easily penetrate through fruit. Some of my go-to snacks are a green apple with peanut butter or peaches with Greek yogurt. Yum. And that's all about fruit. Next up is good fats. Yes, fats can be good. Yay! They're another source of energy with a bad reputation, but they are essential for overall health. And some types of fats may be beneficial for mental health in particular. That's because fats are a key component of the brain, and certain types of fats are important for the structure and function of its cells. Side note here, this is why when you're born and you're nursing from your mother, breast milk is so fatty, because that's like babies' brains grow so fast, so rapidly. And that's why like there's a lot of fat in breast milk and in cow milk even that we consume, unless you're having a low fat kind. But I do recommend when you're doing dairy, we'll get to this, but full fat dairy is the best for this reason, because it's actually good for your brain. More calories, but good for your brain. Where did I lost myself? For example, our favorite omega-3s, which are found in fatty fish and some plant-based sources, are important for brain development and function and may have a protective effect against depression and other mental health disorders. Fats are also important for hormone production, which can impact mood and mental health. For example, low levels of the hormone serotonin have been linked to depression, and the production of serotonin is dependent on the availability of certain types of fats. Chronic inflammation also comes into play here, as it has been linked to a range of mental health disorders that includes depression and anxiety. Some types of fats have anti-inflammatory properties that can help to reduce inflammation and promote overall health. Additionally, fats are an important steady source of energy for the body, and the brain is particularly dependent on a steady supply of energy to function properly. Consuming healthy fats, such as those found in nuts, seeds, and avocado, can help to produce sustained energy and improve cognitive function. So, where can we get the good fats? Try olives and olive oil, butter, coconut and coconut oil, avocado, seeds, nuts, full fat dairy, as mentioned, meat skin, like leave the skin on your chicken and on your fish, or fatty fish or fish oil supplements. It's important to note that not all fats are created equal. Some types of fats, such as trans fats and saturated fats, can have negative effects on both physical and mental health when consumed in excess, like most people do. These not so good fats are easily found on all food labels. Both of them are listed as sublabels under total fat. So you'll see total fat, saturated fats, trans fats underneath there. Avoid those. Stick to the good fats as often as you can. Now we will talk about hydration. I cannot stress enough how essential hydration is for optimal brain function. Why? The brain is made up of about 73% water, and even mild dehydration can impair cognitive abilities, attention, and mood. Drinking an adequate amount of water ensures that your brain is properly hydrated, which can support mental clarity, focus, and overall cognitive function. Optimal water intake can therefore have a positive impact on mood regulation. Dehydration has been associated with increased feelings of fatigue, irritability, and confusion, while sufficient hydration can help promote a more balanced mood. And it doesn't stop there. Drinking enough water can also help reduce stress levels. When we're dehydrated, our bodies experience physiological stress, which can contribute to increased feelings of anxiety and tension. Staying hydrated can help mitigate the effects of stress on the body and the mind. Water is essential for maintaining energy levels and combating fatigue. By staying properly hydrated, you can support your energy levels, cognitive function, and overall mental stamina. Adequate hydration is also important in ensuring optimal brain function, including memory and cognitive abilities. Research suggests that drinking water before tasks that require cognitive effort can improve performance. Proper hydration helps ensure that the brain receives enough oxygen and nutrients, which can enhance memory, attention, and learning abilities. Dehydration is also a common trigger for headaches and migraines. By staying hydrated, you can potentially reduce the frequency and intensity of headaches. I'm sure you can see how this can positively impact your mental well-being. I know I feel pretty dang grumpy when I have a headache. Side note, I used to get headaches all the time through my 20s, and in my 30s, I discovered properly hydrating, and I hardly ever get headaches now. So if you're a chronic headache sufferer, I highly recommend, at the very least, drinking enough water. While water is the absolute top tier choice for hydration, there are other beverages you can drink too. If you're someone who prefers a little variety in this department, try decaf herbal tea, vegetable or bone broths, coconut water, vegetable juices, or kombucha, which is a fermented drink made from black tea. Just be sure to avoid drinks with caffeine, added sugar, and other unnatural ingredients like fake sugars. Even fruit juices can have a lot of excess sugar, so if you opt for those, I would at least heavily water them down. I like to put a little fruit juice in seltzer water as a treat. I drink water all day. That's all I drink pretty much. You should be drinking at least half of your weight in ounces every day. That means if you weigh 150 pounds, you'll need at least 75 ounces of water. I keep a 30-ounce cup of water at my desk. It's right here. It's my favorite cup. I bought a nice pretty one that's very durable. I love this cup, and it just encourages me to drink water. So this is 30 ounces. I drink one in the morning before lunch, and then one in the afternoon after lunch, and then that's 60 ounces. So that's all I need for the day pretty much, and then anything else after that is bonus. So where was I? It's an easy way to get almost all the water I need for the day. Another general rule of thumb, do not wait until you are thirsty to drink. You should be drinking enough throughout the day that you never really feel thirsty. That feeling of thirst means that it's too late. It's your body's way of telling you that you're not keeping up with your fluid intake like you should be. Naughty, naughty. I hope this chapter has given you a crystal clear picture of the foods you should be eating to fuel your brain and body. Let's start eating some lean meats, green veggies, and healthy fats ASAP. Feeling intimidated? Well, that's okay. I've included a huge list at the end of the book with all the good for you stuff we just went over. Please take it to the grocery store and stick to it for at least 2 weeks. You'll be feeling a huge difference in your mood, mental clarity, and energy levels. I've also included a week of meal planning to give you a jump start too, so no excuses. Those, I'll probably include all that stuff in the last video, I guess, or it's really, I have them in the book outlined real nice here, sample meal plans, and here's the big list of all the foods that you can eat. So get a copy of the book, it might be easier, but I think I should have it in the last video in my series too. So next up, that was chapter 5 about awesome foods for mental health, and chapter 6 is up next with acceptable foods for mental health.